Hey, what's up guys? I'm Praetorian and welcome back to Imperator Rome in our Egypt campaign. And as you can tell from the thumbnail and the title of the video, this is going to be the finale episode. I'm sure many of you guys expected this after I put out that review I did. It was an informal review I did of the game. It was really long. It was like 2 hours long, which I think I originally recorded about 3 hours and I cut a bunch of it. It was almost 2 hours long, guys. Very, very long. It's an informal review, so it's not like some of the past reviews I've done of like some of the Paradox DLCs, where, you know, I edit it. I have a script that I write, and then, you know, it's all edited and stuff. And yeah, this one's not like that. It's just mainly me talking about it. It's mainly me talking about the game, my feelings about it. I kind of, in the first, I don't even know how long it is, but the first section of it is me talking about the positives of the game, the things I like about it, and then I moved to talking about the negatives, things I don't like about the game. And I also really tried to include, you know, not just what I didn't like and why I didn't like it, but how they could fix it. I spent a bit of time talking about, you know, ways that it could be improved, I felt, and really talking about, you know, certain key aspects of it that I think I haven't shared in this series, because if you have been watching this series and then you watch that review, you're going to notice me talking about some of the things I've griped about in this Let's Play. So yeah, some of that's going to sound kind of familiar to you, but I do talk about some of the things I haven't talked about with this Let's Play, where I talk about like the fact that it doesn't feel like I'm in the period of antiquity. This doesn't feel like it. I mean, there's not really any features that are really unique to this game. Obviously, something that we're all well aware of. They took a lot of features from other games, and some of those features, of course, fit better in other games, and they try to make them work for this, and they could have done a few more adjustments. But the point is that they haven't really done much to make it feel like, you know, antiquity. I can't name one feature that is unique to Rome, really. I mean, to Imperator Rome, I mean. Like there's a few mechanics, I suppose, like small mechanics, but almost everything in the game is stuff we've seen before. And other Paradox games, correct me if I'm wrong, there might be a couple little things, as I said. I'm like looking through this. I mean, obviously it has like its own technology system, of course, you know, but that's not what I really mean. I mean, like, you know, pops, you know, big ideas, pops mechanics, the military system, everything's very similar to things we've seen in other, you know, the mercenaries. I mean, obviously it's different. But I mean, it's all stuff we've seen before in other Paradox games, unlike where you take each other Paradox game, you know, CK2, EU4, each one of them has something very unique to it that you won't find in any other Paradox game, and like a big major mechanic. Yeah, I don't feel like this one has it. They haven't really done much to represent antiquity, and I talk about that a lot. I spend a lot of time talking about how I feel like a lot of the features don't fit the period. A lot of little things they could have added, things they could have worked on to make it feel more like the time period. So you might see some stuff, you know, in that video that you haven't seen in here. You're gonna see me discussing things. But yeah, if you want to know my thoughts on the game overall, because I know I've kind of added them into this Let's Play. I've tried really hard not to spend too much time talking about the things I don't like, concentrating on those things too much, but it's hard because, as you guys know, I'm not digging it. That's the gist of the review, guys. I am not liking this game. I feel like it's a great framework for a future game that they'll eventually make this into. I think once it gets a lot of patches and expansions, this could very well be a fantastic game. It could even end up being one of the best Paradox games. I don't know. It's not impossible. Could be one of my favorite Paradox games if you ask me 2 years from now. I think that they could do it. Paradox is showing their you know, really unique, because I haven't seen it quite like any other company spend this much time on past games. They spend, you know, years and years and years on their games, and there are some other developers do it, but Paradox is a little bit on another level with it, I feel. And so we know that they're gonna add so much to it, and it's gonna be a better game. But right now, it is not that point. One day it may be fantastic, and I'm not even gonna say that I'm not gonna play it again anytime soon. I don't know if I'll play with 1.1 that comes out in a couple weeks. Probably not. It doesn't feel like it adds enough to really make it. It's not enough to make it a good game. All it really does is make it what this should have been at launch. It doesn't change my general feelings that overall it's a boring game. So probably not with the 1.1 patch, but maybe with the next patch and expansion, I could see myself jumping back into it. Whatever that is, I would assume we're going to see a DLC before the end of the year. maybe towards holiday season. So yeah, I'm not calling it quits, saying we're never going to touch Imperator Rome again. If they've got a good expansion coming out, I'm liking what I'm seeing, I think it's going to be fun, then yeah, we'll jump back into it and try it out. But right now, guys, it's just not a fun game. This is my 3rd campaign now. I have 3 campaigns total that I've done. And so I feel experienced enough to say that it doesn't matter who you play with, where you play, it eventually becomes boring. Once you become a certain size, we started kind of large because we started playing as Egypt. I would not recommend that. I wouldn't recommend starting as a large country because the only entertainment you get is as a small country. It's kind of fun, I suppose. Not as fun as other Paradox games, but it's kind of fun as a small country. But I find after like 2 to 3 hours into a campaign, I start getting kind of bored. Because there's just not a lot to do except for war. It's just war after war after war, and you're just painting the map, and I'm not really into that, those style games typically, with the exception of Hearts of Iron 4 style games, where it's a war game and all you do is paint the map, but it's hardcore focused on combat mechanics. Like that's what it does. It doesn't do anything else. Hearts of Iron 4 doesn't care about any other peacetime or political mechanics really when you look at it. Everything is geared towards war, and it's very in depth. Now, obviously, that's a very different time period, World War II, compared to this, so I don't know, it could be difficult, making a game so focused around combat mechanics the way Hoi 4 is, for this period, but I think you could do it. If that's what you want, if you want to make a map painter game, if you want to make a combat focused game, then I think you could make a really quality game, and even without tactical battles, like what Total War Rome brings, even without tactical battles, I think you could still make a very good combat focused game in the time period if you focused on that, and you'd have to leave out a lot of the other stuff, obviously. I'd rather give up all this stuff here though for a good combat focused game. Now preferably I'd prefer a game like what this wants to be, a game where you can have combat and peace, time mechanics where you can spend 50 years in peace. You've got the Pax Romana. It's, obviously they didn't actually spend that much time at peace. Rome was always technically at war, but you know what I mean. Long peaceful times where you're not like major conflicts. I feel like it should be able to represent that. You should have the type of mechanics to back that up where I can spend long periods of peace. But right now, yeah, it's just going to war after war after war, and then if the combat mechanics were better, then I would probably be more interested in that, but they're not, so it just kind of leaves me bored. I've been bored for a while now. I think I said this several episodes ago. So yeah, I think it is time to end it. I don't want to keep going on something I'm obviously not enjoying. I don't typically play games if I don't enjoy them. If you see videos coming up of a game on my channel, and it's going past episode 5, then it's because I'm liking it. I mean, I don't usually even play games unless I like them. That's the advantage of being a small channel. I can kind of play whatever I want for the most part. I know bigger channels sometimes got to play stuff they don't like. I know I've heard many Paradox YouTubers really bored with the games they're playing, and they don't want to play anymore, but they can't get views otherwise, so they have to keep playing the same game over and over again because it's how they make their living, so they don't really have any other choice. I'm not a full-time YouTuber, so that's not... I don't have to do that. Maybe one day if I ever did become a full-time YouTuber, then I would be stuck doing that, I suppose. I don't know. I really can't tell how that works because I've never been in that situation, but yeah, it's not getting views anyways, so it's not even like that's the case with this one. They're just getting views, but I'm not liking it. But yeah, I think it's a great time to end it. I got that review out. I'm going to link that on the end card here. And in addition to, the fact that I just finished the review, and that's really, I didn't want to end the series until I had the review done, and then it ended up taking a little bit longer than I expected to get it out because of that cough. I was having a lot of trouble getting over that cough, and I knew it was going to be a longer review because it's an informal, just me having a discussion basically by myself, I suppose. I don't know if you can have a discussion by yourself. I guess you can if you're crazy like me. So it's really just more of a discussion than an actual review, I suppose, than a traditional review. And so I knew it was going to be a longer video because I was doing that informal format. So, I wasn't going to be able to do that while coughing, unfortunately. So it took a little bit longer to get that out there, and that's the reason why we haven't had any videos for so long, because I just didn't want to play anymore. But I didn't want to put the finale out until I could link you guys to the review. You may be asking what I'm doing next. Well, I don't know if they will be out by the time this one's out. I don't know how I'm doing in order goes, yeah, you know what? I probably will go ahead and put the new series out before I put this one out. It's already recorded, and it's a new Hoi 4 series. We're going to be playing as Germany. So if you're into Hearts of Iron 4, then maybe go check that first episode out. But yeah, that's going to be it for this one, and like I said, we'll come back to Imperator Rome when it gets some more content. When Paradox has had some time working on it, they really should have delayed the game, really what it comes down to. They have the money. They're doing very well financially. Paradox is doing really well. I don't know if you've looked at their earning. They're a public company, so they post their earning reports, and they are doing very well. There's absolutely no reason they had to rush this out like they did. They could have delayed it. They had excuse after excuse of, if we were going to delay it until it's finished, then it would never be out. Because we're always working on our games. Okay, I understand that. Nobody's asking you to delay it until it's finished, because it's never going to be complete. We're asking you to delay it until it's a fun game. I don't know. Just feels like it's early access. I think that's really what they should have posted. They should have posted early access for funding the development of this game. So yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed with Paradox. Pretty disappointed with them, because I really feel like this was but you know what? I almost think that I don't think they knew. I don't think this was, they're looking at it like this is an unfinished game, this is early access, it's not good, and we're releasing it anyways. That we're releasing this game that's not up to quality. I really think they're just out of touch with what people wanted, and I think they released it as is, thinking it was ready. I think they really believed that it was a legit, fun, good game, and clearly it's a matter of opinion. It's a minority opinion, but it's a matter of opinion because a lot of the Paradox developers seem to feel that way. And then there's a lot of players. It's a minority, but it's still a significant minority of players who are actually loving the game. So yeah, I don't think we can take the 38% negative review rating on Steam and say that everybody hates it. I mean, you can see that clearly 38% of people who posted a review like it, and also we know that people are far more likely to share their opinion if they didn't like something than if they did. But out of those positive reviews though, a lot of them are saying, I don't know how many of them I saw on there that said, yeah, the game isn't great right now, but it will be later, so you guys need to stop whining, and then they post a positive review. Maybe 25% of players. It's still a significant minority of players that are enjoying this game. So I don't think this was a case of Paradox, putting out a game they thought was terrible, and that players weren't going to like, and that they're putting their reputation on the line to do that anyways. I don't think that was the case. I think there's just a misunderstanding of what players wanted from the game. I think I don't know. I just don't know how you can look at the game and say that it was complete when there's just nothing to do. It's just it's so bare bones, man. How many times do we see the same event over and over and over and over again? I mean, they say that there's 1,500 events in the game. I'm not calling Johan a liar. I'm sure there's 1,500 events, but I've seen across 3 campaigns, I've seen the same, like a couple dozen events just over and over and over. It's just, I'm not going to go into this, like my review goes into this, but come on, like you don't even have different religions. There's just nothing to it, guys. Every country's essentially the same. The only difference is your government type. Yeah, it's just an extreme disappointment, and I'm not happy that I'm ending this series this way, guys. But it's got to happen. I'm not enjoying it, so I'm not gonna play anymore. I hope you guys did enjoy the campaign, though. I think we had fun with it. We made some fun with it. And the early game was fun when I was kind of getting to learn the game a bit more, and playing as Egypt for the first time, and I think we had fun with it. Oh God, I love talking about history. That's one of my favorite things to do is talk about history. So I really liked being able to work that into the series, because this is probably the period when it comes to historical periods. This is probably the second period that I'm most knowledgeable about outside of the early modern period, which of course is the one I got my degree in. This is a period I study a lot. I really like reading about it and studying it and talking about it. So I'm glad I did the campaign. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad it gave me time to talk about this history, and some of you guys seem to enjoy it. I know I kind of ranted a little bit maybe talked a little bit too much. Got a little bit long-winded, I guess are the words I'm looking for, on some of those historical talks I had. Got a little bit out of control. Got a little bit too long. But overall, I had fun with it. Seems like you guys enjoyed it too. So I'm glad I did the campaign. We did have some fun with it, I think. So I do hope to see those of you, some of you guys are, always on the channel, and I'm sure I'll see you guys on another video. But for those of you who came to the channel for this series and have been watching this series, I really hope you do go check out some of my other content. If you're looking for something similar, I did an EU4 series as England last year. And then we had a CK2 series that we still got going right now. Actually, it's a roleplay series. So everything I do has to kind of make sense with the traits, or supposed to anyway. That's the goal, is that all of our actions make sense with the traits of our character. It's a roleplay series. We're playing as a dynasty in France. And that's been a really, really fun campaign too. A little bit of history in that one too, if that's what you enjoyed in this one. That's kind of the one where I really started kind of talking more about history in my Let's Plays. And that's where I kind of realized people might actually like that, because I was thinking that people wouldn't want to hear that in the game. So yeah, go check out one of those two, and then of course there's just a ton of Hoi 4 on the channel. 20 something campaigns, including the new one. So I'd like to see you on that. If not though, if this is all you're here on the channel for, then maybe I'll see you around at another time. But yeah, I hope everybody does decide to stick around, and like I said, maybe we'll have some more Imperator Rome in the future. If you enjoyed the series overall, then leave a like on this video, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. Like I said, I'd love to hear your opinion, not just on the game, but on the series mostly. I guess if you really want to talk about your opinion of the game, then maybe head over to that review and maybe have a little bit of discussions in the comment section there. But yeah, I'd love to hear your opinion of the campaign overall, what you felt of the format, and how it developed and went. I love getting feedback from you, negative or positive, as long as it's respectful, of course. If you're looking for any links, look down in the description of any videos that we have on our channel, including this one. We have our links to our social media, Twitter, Facebook. If you want to support the channel, we have a PayPal link on there, as well as Patreon. And then we have our Discord channel, where we have a pretty good community. Like having discussions with you guys, whether it's about games or politics or shows or whatever it is. I'd love to see more people join. I got about 150 something, 160 people on the Discord at this point. So yeah, I'd love to see that grow. But that's gonna be it for this campaign. And once again, sorry that it was short, but I don't think we should play a game if I'm not enjoying it. I think it'll affect the quality, of course. And I got such limited time, so we should be playing games that are good. Games that deserve to be played. This one doesn't at this point. Needs to be worked on a bit more. So yeah, sorry it was a little bit short, but yeah, hope that you did enjoy it overall, and thanks for joining me.